friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And I'm here to do actually today's supposed to be a tour of the little skinny little herb garden strip over here on this side, but it's really small and so it's going to be quick. So I figured I'll give you some updates on some other areas that I've already covered just to show you what's going on. And if you're new to my channel, just understand that all that we're doing here, even though we have a couple other pieces of property, all of our gardening, all the food that we grow, or most of the food that we grow, is right here on this little shy 1/3 acre corner lot in a neighborhood. So let's get busy on today's garden video. So several weeks ago I did a tour on this front yard section here, and I just wanted to show you how the potatoes are coming, even though I'm figuring now they are actually a whole month behind. Planted them the same time as always, but yeah, it looks like they're not going to be ready until the end of July, maybe even the 1st of August. But they're flowering. They're doing much better than they were in that video I showed. And then one thing I forgot to point out was my zucchini. Again, also at least a good month behind. This one here struggling a little more than these other two, but they're coming along. And my rhubarb is snapping back again after that cold snap we had. Now back there, you can probably hear and see my chickens under the shrubs over there. They love hanging out in that area in the morning. And then right there, that's my stinging nettle. You see how tall that is? Stinging nettle can get really tall if grown in the right area. It loves it over there. In fact, just a couple of days ago, I came out here and hacked a whole bunch of it back because I got this little fencing. It's just a fencing I keep there for this time of the year to keep the chickens out of this fenced-in area so they're not digging up my potatoes and whatnot. But I still like to let them come out here in the morning because they love hanging out here. And they come through that little section of fence right over there. But anyway, the nettle was clear up to the fencing. So I got out here with some shears and just pruned it back so they could still easily get through there. And no, the nettle doesn't bother them. So I'm just going to do a flyby. My carrot seeds are coming along, my lily, my lemon balm, sage, more carrot seeds, horseradish that Patrick tilled over, so now I have a whole bunch of little horseradish starts. I dug up several of them that I'm giving to a friend today. My peppermint's been doing great. It might not look beautiful right now, but it is filling in nice, but it's just because I come out here almost every day and hack a whole bunch of it back. And that back there is marshmallow and so on and so forth, and I cover a lot of that in another video. And you can see a little bit of my deck garden here, but also have another separate video on that. Okay, so let's get started on this little narrow strip of south-facing herb garden. Right here is kind of a conglomeration of stuff. Just a small valerian right there. I have several huge ones in the back. A lily, so I think I'm going to take that out because at the time I planted the gold oregano, it was right here. It was just a little small patch, and so it's been filling in. I've cut a whole bunch of it off, and now I'm going to see if I can get seed off of it this year. We'll see how that goes. This is a marshmallow that, again, I thought I dug all my marshmallow up, but it just keeps coming up because it will come up just like horseradish from any little piece of root that's left behind. Just transplanted this anise hyssop here. It's real small. And hoping it will give it a little bit safer area to grow than out back where I usually grow it. And then you can see right back there behind this small yarrow, and there are some of the orange mint that you had seen in last week's video in a pot in the deck garden that I finally decided this would be a good place because I dug up a big chicory that was growing here. Another thing that I thought I had dug up that also will come back from any little bitter root. Dug that up and moved it out back because it's just too big for this little skinny area, and figured this would be a great place for the orange mint. It can get plenty of sun and it should do well here. And that is a red clover, and that's a designated spot for it. And this, by the way, too, is one of my good healthy dandelions, so I could leave that intentionally. Another yarrow, it's a young one. I believe I started from seed. And rosemary, which you can see I haven't cut back in a while. I actually have quite a bit of rosemary. I don't really need anymore. And yet another marshmallow that I'm just leaving for now. I'm going to come back out and cut all this off just for the greens because marshmallow gets so much. When I originally planted it out here, I didn't realize how tall it'd get, just like the chicory. And I can't have too tall of stuff growing out here because there's just not enough room right up against the house for it to move. So I have to move all the tall stuff out. But I'm going to hack all this back and then harvest those leaves and dehydrate them. So there's some forget-me-nots growing in here. They just keep coming in. That's okay. They're pretty. But right there's another one of my daylilies. This one's kind of a pink. I was hoping that maybe it would be have an open flower on it when I came out to shoot this video, but I just missed it. So as soon as the flower opens, I pick it and eat it because they're so tasty. Because that's the way it is with daylilies. That's why they're called daylilies. The flowers only open for a day, but they're very, very healthy. So anyway, there's a picture of it so you can see what it looks like when it's open. This yarrow is a little bit older and doing quite well. And again, any of these herbs I mentioned, if I have a video on it, you could, like the yarrow, which I do, and the thyme, and even the golden oregano, you will find it in my herb playlist, which I'll put down below. Now that is one of my favorite thymes right there. It's called the foxley. I thought I'd lost it. I thought it was gone. But once I pulled out some of the excess plants in here, because I do like to let my dandelion grow in here, but it can get really big and then overshadow stuff. So I thinned it out some, and now that's starting to grow good. And this is just a common garden thyme. This is my healthiest thyme. It does the best for me. I love this just because of that. And then here is another one of those lilies, same color as the other one, getting ready to open up. You can kind of see the color of it right in there. And, oh, I forgot, I have another small rosemary that I just transplanted. I don't really even know why I got more rosemary because I have plenty. A young calendula, and yes, I need to take care of this. Some more of my nice healthy dandelions there. Calendula. I should have come out later so you could see it, the flowers when they're open up. But as soon as they open, I come out here and pick them anyway. This is another of my valerians here. This is actually my oldest plant. And a few years ago, it grew clear up to there. It got huge. It's just not getting near as big this year, which is fine. Because you see, I had to stake it because the valerian, well, that's another reason why this isn't the best place for it, because the flowers they fall over when they get heavy. And then one of my 4 currants, another one's here that I showed in my West herb garden. And I just realized why I don't have as many red berries as I thought I should have. I just saw a robin out here eating the heck out of these things, little jerk. I'm going to go ahead and swing around here and just go and talk a little bit about this, even though I talked about my West herb garden in another video. I just want to show you this rose here that I hacked clear back down to the ground. It's getting some flowers on it. And then that's one of my feverfews. But you can go back and watch the video I did on the tour of this side of the garden with my elderberries and whatnot. Okay, well, I'm back up here on the deck. I'm going to just shoot this closing. I just wanted to show you my fig. It's looking pretty good. Look, I still don't have any fruit yet. A couple of leaves are getting decimated by something, but not the whole plant, thankfully. And then more calendula that hasn't opened up yet today. But as I said, there's one of my pink ones. The pink ones typically the flowers don't get as big as some of the yellow and orange ones, but it is just makes a nice mix of color. And then my honeysuckle. And more strawberries coming on here. I got to watch those robins. They're wanting to steal all my berries. And I am finally, it's just kind of weird this year, finally starting to see some strawberries coming on of a little more regular size. They've been so tiny this year. Chicken birds. Chickens. And then my chickens hanging out back here in their little narrow strip. Hello, girls. Oh, and taking dust baths apparently. Hello, girls. At least some of the chickens. See some more back in there. Some of them are probably still in the backyard. Okay, well, that's my garden update for this week, and I'm not sure if I'll do one next week. I still have more areas in the back that I need to cover, but Patrick did a really cool video on making some swings for our other piece of property for the family gathering we're going to be having here next month. So I might put that one up next Wednesday instead, and then continue on with the rest of the garden tours in the week after that. So anyway, if you don't see it next week, just just hang on, there'll be more coming, and I'll just keep you updated in the Monday this and that videos as well. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.